Write in the comments and we will try to adjust the levels or just talk louder.
Try that again.
Oh, was the microphone not on?
Yeah,
flash it. Have we got to start right from the beginning?
You can say hi again now. We're back.
Oh no, we're back. Okay, we'll begin again from the start. So the microphone was off, I'm very sorry. Welcome to our second session for Genesis Gymnastics. I am Claire, this is Tom, and you might recognise me from Chessington School Hall for Saturday morning gymnastics for Genesis. When I'm not in Chessington, I am teaching gymnastics alongside Tom in London, and right from here in our living room. We've been doing it since the start of lockdown, so yes. That was difficult.
Well done.
That was difficult repeating everything.
Well, it was better the second time through, I think. So, what's the housekeeping?
Housekeeping is, please let us know if you can't hear us, if there's a problem with the sound.
There shouldn't be this time round, I don't think. But if you would like, to increase the sound, let us know.
Yeah, if we need to put the levels up, we can. Make sure you have a parent with you. We want you to make sure you've got permission to be doing the gymnastics, that you've got supervision, and
make sure you have space as well. You don't want to be next to furniture, or we're not taking up a lot of space today, but we have the luxury of room and height. And if I break a sofa, I'm not going to get in trouble.
But if you break a sofa, you're right. So make sure that you've co-opted your parent into this training session with you, and then it's both your responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, one of the rules is we want as many parents as possible to be joining in today.
Yes. So yeah, again, well, not again because you didn't hear us the first time. If you want to comment, make sure you ask for a parent's permission.
Yes, please send us your comments. Say hello now. Use the comment section to say hello so we know who's here. But also, if you have any questions during the session, write them down in the comments and then we can answer your questions.
Yeah, fire them over. So, what have we got today, Claire?
Today we've got 3 sections to the workout. We're doing, firstly, we're going to do a warm-up, and then we're going to do a little circuit to prepare your body for doing cartwheels. So we're not going to do actual cartwheels because British gymnastics wouldn't like it, but we can do lots of exercises that are going to help build strength in the wrists and the shoulders and develop flexibility through the groin in order to do cartwheels. So we've got some cartwheel work. We've then got a learn how to jump section. So as personal trainers and gymnastic coaches, Tom and I know that jumping is often a problem for people, and they don't always do it in the safest way. So we're going to do a little bit of focus on jumping safely and jumping with good technique. Then we've got a flexibility section at the end to finish. So we're going to do some box split work today. So if we are ready, I think we're going to begin with a warm-up, please.
Cool. So
we want 45 seconds for each exercise, Tom, and you're in charge of the exercise list.
Am I?
Yeah.
So jumping twist is your first one.
Okay.
What is a jumping twist?
So can you put a clock on? So we've got 45 seconds for each one, and you tell us when to change.
Cool.
Yeah? Ready?
Yeah. 3,
okay.
2, 1, go.
So just little tiny jumps, twisting your hips.
So we do have a third coach. She's not in the room at the minute, but she might make an appearance. Coach Luna is currently in bed, not feeling sorry for herself because she had her jabs.
Yes.
2 days ago.
Luna's had some jabs.
So if I need to disappear at some point, it's because she's not in the best of moods. So what are we trying to do here, Claire?
Twist from the hips and get the heart rate up. So just tiny little jumps. I'm pretty exhausted doing this one already.
Do you know, I did this yesterday. You've got about 15 seconds, you know that. I did this kind of thing yesterday to warm myself up. I did imaginary skipping ropes. I didn't break the light.
Oh.
I was doing skipping ropes.
Okay.
As if I was
Then
skipping
we do that
from
one next
side to
week.
side.
Okay, can you tell me how long we've got to go, please?
You've got 2 seconds.
What's the next exercise?
Heel raises.
Okay. Oh, thank goodness. So, hands
That
on
was
your
harder
hips.
than you thought that was going to be, right?
Yeah.
And the radiators as well.
And my calves are tired already from doing that one, so putting heel raises right after is a bit tricky.
Yeah, that's difficult, right? Big breaths. Yeah, putting them 2 together is quite hard. So what we're trying to do, squeeze.
Lift the heels off the floor, get as high onto the toes as you can. How long have we got to go, Tom? Oh Lord.
45 seconds is a
Another
long
15
time.
seconds of this.
Yeah, exactly, right?
The calves are going to be really warmed up.
Keep going.
You can shake your calves out if you need to.
Yeah.
I get very tight calves, so
High knee walks are your next one in 5 seconds. Keep going.
this double combinations.
High knee walks. Go.
Okay, so hands out in front, and you want to touch your knee to your hand as you go.
Oh, that's interesting. Where's your foot? Because in martial arts, I would have gone point my toe down. That's like
Oh yeah.
ingrained into me.
Well, in gymnastics, you would point your toe down as well, but I'm doing it naturally as a runner.
Like a sprinter.
Yeah,
Down.
I'm lifting my toes up.
And if you want a real challenge, you can always put your lift them as high as you can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lift them up as high as you
It's a
can.
good way to stretch the hips there, especially if you've just woken up.
Yes.
Keep going. You got about 15 seconds. Yeah, you're kind of regretting doing this for 45 seconds, right? This is not easy.
Well, this is about getting warm. We need to prepare the body for the training session. So,
3, 2, 1. Arm circles.
Okay.
Make sure you're brushing your ears. So all the way through. Brush those ears. Touch both sides at the same time. Are you going to change direction at any point?
yes.
You're going to play with direction as well.
Yes, okay, so let's go forward with the arm circles now.
Oh, that was horrible.
Tom's just been drinking some coffee.
I just drank my
a
coffee.
little
and
bit
I-
too strong.
And I've got, it was all coffee
Okay,
down to the bottom.
change direction. So one arm goes forwards, one arm goes backwards.
That's it. That's really hard.
And the other way.
If you can't do this, just go back to both arms. This is really difficult. Do you want to go forward as well and go really fast, like you're taking off?
Okay, like a
That's it.
helicopter.
Yeah. Still brushing your ears though, Claire.
Ah!
Yeah, exactly. 3, 2, 1. Side lunges.
Okay. So, we want a full lunge, trying to
it.
keep your heel on the floor.
All the way down. Imagine there's like a little chair behind you and you want to sit down in it. So it's not only you're just working one leg with a bent leg, but you want to sit down and keep the other one straight. So it's like a nice way of stretching and moving the hips. You having a look at the comments?
Yeah. Who's saying we've got Grace and Elizabeth here, good morning. We've got Adeline here.
Nice.
But yeah, who else have we got?
Straddle stretch.
Okay, so onto the floor, into a straddle position, and we're gonna just
Make the rainbow.
make a rainbow with your hands from one
That's
side of
it.
the foot to the other.
So you really want to reach out for the start of the rainbow and then do the deepest crescent shape you can, right, Claire?
That's right.
And if you're tight, take it, like Claire's going really fast. You can slow down if you find it really, really tight in the hips. So for me, I would really start slow in this position.
If you can, take one hand to touch the thigh and see if you can touch your toe. Take the arm over the top to touch the toe.
That's good.
And then the other
Other
side.
side.
Oh, it's a bit tighter this side for me. And touch both toes at the same time if you can. And you want to try to get your nose towards the floor.
Your wrists are the next one. Do you want to stretch a little bit longer?
No, if we're ready to move
Let's
on.
move on.
Okay, so
Fingers facing forward.
yeah,
Arms perfectly straight, walking over the wrists. Why are we doing the wrist prep, Claire?
because we're going to be doing lots of work on the wrists today with these
Nothing with the
cartwheel preps.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that the wrists are ready to take our weight. Fingertips facing you now and keep rocking.
In gymnastics, the wrists are a really big tool that we need to make sure that it doesn't get injured, right? Because we're loading our wrists and springing off of our wrists and hands throughout our active practice in the gym, right? So we need to make sure that they don't get injured. And they're not used to being, you don't walk on your hands, right? So we need to
Put
make
the
sure
backs
that
of
they're
your
very
hands
warm.
to the floor and push it up. Yep, and for any parents who spend a lot of time on the computer at work,
This
this
might be really
exercise might be really hard. Okay, what's next, Tom?
Shoulder stretch to cobra.
Cool, so stay on your hands and knees. We want to put the hands out in front and we're stretching through the shoulders.
So this is very similar to like a child's pose in yoga. Trying to drive through. I always kind of like to imagine that I'm trying to push my armpits towards the floor, keeping my arms straight by my ears. And then you're going to go to cobra.
So now put the hips to the floor and
Look
want to
up
look
to
up
the
to the
sky.
ceiling.
You don't want to be like here. You want to actually push the floor away. It lifts the torso up. You don't want to have your shoulders on your ears.
So one more round, stretch the shoulders out. Like a cat. Imagine you're a cat in this position. And then we're pushing the hips forwards again and we want to stretch the head back.
Push up. Keep looking up towards the ceiling.
Okay, what's next, Tom?
You have front lunge and hamstring stretch. What
Okay.
is that exactly?
So we want to stretch forward in a lunge position.
Oh, I know what you're going to do. This is hard.
Hands either side of your front foot. We want the back leg to be straight in this position. You want to push this back hip in towards the floor. And then we're going to stand back into the warrior pose that we would know it as in yoga. And you're trying to get your nose to touch your knee.
So what if you can't keep your hands on the floor? What's your aggression in both positions, Claire?
You can bring your hands, so in this position, hopefully you can get two hands on one side at least. And then when you push back up, you can hold your ankle.
That's it, or one hand on the floor for balance like Claire's doing now. Also tenting with your fingers, so if you're struggling in that lunge, rather than flat hands, put your fingertips down. It will give you that little bit of extra height.
Okay, we're changing legs now.
That's it. So show us the tenting position, Claire. There we go. So we're just fingers down onto the floor. But if you can, flat down. And extend.
Oh, tight on this side today.
Yeah, you've got one side tighter than the other. That's not unusual. So if you feel tighter on one side, and down. Last one, right?
Yeah.
And then we move on to our cartwheel preps.
So stretch back again.
Cool, and rest.
Great.
So let us know how you're feeling, how you got on.
Everyone feeling warm, hopefully, and ready to begin. So, I'm going to do a little bit of work that will hopefully help you to improve your cartwheels when you're back in the gym. So we've got 6 exercises that we're going to do, and we're going to practice each exercise for 30 seconds. Then we'll move on to the next exercise. At the end of the 6, we're going to repeat it. So it's a circuit that we're doing 2 times around.
So we have wrist prep, ... scapular,
So,
push-ups.
scapular push-ups is this exercise. Can you give us a description of what I'm doing here, Tom?
So I'm going to step in front of you actually. So what Claire's doing is in this plank position or front support, she's squeezing the shoulder blades together as tight as she can and then pushing out. But she's not bending her arms, she's keeping them perfectly straight. What is this applicable for, or what is this for?
So we're working on building the strength in the wrist, building the flexibility in the wrist, and learning to push through the scapula, which when you're inverted upside down in a handstand or a cartwheel is really important. Because if you sink into the cartwheel, you're going to have a very unstable position. So you have to push away from the floor. So we're practicing this push position.
Cool. And another option, like that's really hard to do it in a front support. What's your other option to do it if you can't do it in front support? 3/4?
Yeah,
Show us the 3/4 position.
you could do it on your knees in this position.
So she's not perfectly square in the hips, she's not like a box shape. Show us a box shape. We're not this position, but that's even easier. Go further out with the knees now for me. There we are. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and push out and round that back. Keeping those arms straight, so we don't want the arms to bend, yeah?
Okay, what's the second exercise?
Oh, we're going to go through them one at a time?
Yeah, we're going to explain what they are.
So, the lunge drill. So fall into lunge.
So second
Push
exercise,
hands.
we've got lunge drills. So you're going to come up onto your toes and then fall into a lunge position and push back and then change legs, and we do it on the other side. So this is really, really good practice for engaging your hamstrings. It's really difficult, very hard. It's going to get your heart rate up.
Can you pause in the lunge for me so I can show them the line you're creating? So pause. See this line, right? Yes. So she's straight all the way down, right? So this back leg's perfectly straight, the arms are perfectly straight, and the arms are by their ears. We're trying to create this perfect line.
Cool. What's the next exercise?
Bunny hops over pillows.
Okay.
Make sure you ask if you're going to borrow one of your parents' pillows. You can't just do it over a spot on the floor.
So we've got a little pillow. You're going to put your hands directly in front of the pillow, and you're going to go bunny hop from side to side.
So we're starting to load the shoulders right now, so put a little bit of weight on the shoulders.
This is all about loading the shoulders. What's the next exercise?
T position with a kick leg. This is a hand drill.
So in cartwheels, I'm going to do a demonstration now.
Is this thing that gets quite confusing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So what lots of people do in cartwheels is they don't turn the hands. They forget to turn the hands. And the hand position is really, really important. So I'm going to do a full demonstration of cartwheel across my living room. Don't do this at home, but this is just to show you. So my hands are in this position. And it's what allows the turn, the 3/4 turn to happen.
We're not doing that, right?
We're not doing that, we're going to practice the hand position. So on your mat, you want to think about which leg you kick with. So you're going to start with one knee forward. Put your good knee forward. The leg that you usually do lots of work off. Put that one forwards. And then you're going to put the front hand that you would put down in a cartwheel goes forward, and the second hand is going to cross over to make a T shape. And then you're going to kick the back leg up.
So it's a nice stretch on the hamstring as well, right?
So yeah.
If you can't get straight, what's your options? Just to go slightly slower and
just put the hands down. If you can't kick the leg up, just put the hands down and keep practicing the T shape.
Yeah.
So that is, if you like taking off on your right leg, then you're going to put your right hand forward and your left hand will make the T. If you like taking off on your left leg, you're going to put the left hand forward and the right hand will make the T. So hopefully you'll figure that out as we practice it.
Cool. So the last one's the rainbow cartwheel mini drill.
We're going to do a mini rainbow cartwheel. So
I'm moving out of the way.
the way that that's going to look is you're going to
Again, make sure you have space before you even set off with this.
Yeah, you need some space. So you're going to step, you put one hand down, then the second hand down, and then you kick and you change legs.
See that Claire's kicking her legs up in the air, so not all the way up to do the cartwheel, but just a little prep. So Claire's very close to that sofa, so if you are close to sofa and furniture, make sure you have space to do this. You can also do this with bent legs and not kick up as high, right?
Yeah.
Show us a version where you don't kick up as high. There we go. So you're just hopping from one side, but we're making... Why is it called a rainbow, right?
Because it's like you're taking a step, then the next hand, then the next hand, and then the foot, and you're making a rainbow shape. So you can even put some markers down on the floor.
So we're going to use food.
Yeah, wooden, some wooden kids' food will work just fine. So that's the rainbow, and we're trying to make the shape of the rainbow. But we're doing a mini version, so just...
That's it. So it's a little kick, not a full kick.
Not a full kick, just a little...
So we're just loading the shoulders.
Just to load the shoulders. This is just a shoulder exercise.
Cool. So we're going to go through them like 2 sets on each, right? Before we move on to the next one.
So we've got 30 seconds on each exercise. Then we do the next exercise. This is going to get the heart rate up. It's going to be super difficult.
Are we resting?
No.
What? So we're
we'll
going
have
to go
like a 10,
2 sets of scapular
we have a
push-ups.
10. No. We're doing this. It's a circuit.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm with you now. So
10 seconds in between each one.
Oh, 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
How generous.
10 second change over 30 seconds for each exercise.
So the scapular push-ups is what we're after, the first one.
All right.
Cool. So I'll count everyone in. 3, 2, 1, go. So if you do have any questions, or you're like, I can't do this particular movement or exercise, write down in the comments and we'll try to give you a regression. There's something that's applicable. Keep pushing, squeezing those shoulder blades together and then pushing out. Pushing out, but don't bend the arms. You want to keep those fingers facing forward. Don't bend the arms at any point. You've got 5 seconds, Claire. 3, 2, 1. That falling lunge is what we're after with the hands up.
So shake your arms out before we do the next one.
Ready, ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. That's it. Big breath. Make sure you're breathing throughout these movements. Are you switching legs or are you just aiming with your dumbbells?
Switching legs.
Ah, so you're going from one side to the other. Keep going, Claire. Just need to check on something. What quality of the movement are you trying to do?
This one is a nice fall. We want a really straight position.
3, 2, 1. Cool. Bunny hops over the pillow.
Okay, if anyone's arms need a good shake out, shake them out again.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
So keep your hands close to the floor, in between each bunny hop. You're trying to jump off both feet at the same time. Not one foot at a time, but jump with both feet at the same time.
Are you trying to keep your fingers facing forward?
Yep.
Cool. So we've got about 10 seconds left. Keep going. This is hard, right?
Yep.
30 seconds.
This
is
really
like
hard.
a real workout.
This is.
Cool. And rest. Next is your pancake stretch.
Okay, we get a bit of recovery time now, thank goodness, because this has been hard.
Oh, did we discuss the pancake? I think we skipped it.
Oh, you forgot to mention it.
Maybe. Ready?
Yep, so we're stretching in this position. If you can touch both your toes, then that's perfect.
Let's go. So not too dissimilar to what we did the warm-up, but now it's more of like a passive stretch, right? So we're just trying to sink into it as deep as we can. Why is this, Claire?
Because in cartwheels, you have your legs apart. So we need to make sure that this muscle here, the groin area, is all warmed up and flexible enough that you don't strain when you do the cartwheel.
So you might feel this in the back of the legs or the inside of the legs or the side of the knees. Next is the T position with the leg kick. That was a nice wanted break, that one, right?
That was a good.
3, 2, 1, go.
So arms up.
And if you can, do the extension of the leg kick because you'll start to feel it in the back of the legs, the glutes. And you notice that Claire's keeping this back leg perfectly straight and she's trying to point it towards the ceiling, right?
Yep.
But it's more like 75 degrees.
And you want to try and make sure everything's going in a straight line so that the front hand is in line with the toes. Yep. And that the back leg is, you want to really focus on the kick. One thing that people often don't realise.
3, 2, 1, and rest. Mini
One
rainbow.
One thing people often don't realise with cartwheel is that the cartwheel comes from the kick of the back leg. The back leg does all the work rather than the front leg. Okay, so mini rainbow cartwheels next.
Make sure you have space again. I'm going to nag you on this. Because I don't want to break a toe or something, kicking a radiator.
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1, go. So come a little bit further back. You're just slightly off camera. That's it. Stay on your mat, Claire. I'm just going to step out the way so I don't get kicked as well.
So remember, you can do it with bent legs, but you're just trying to transfer your weight from one side to the other.
That's good. 10 seconds. Then we go back to the scapular push-ups, right?
And then we're going to have a 60-second break.
Oh, that's not written down, but I know now. And rest. 60-second break.
Okay, recover yourselves.
Again, let us know how you got on with that, please. It'd be good to kind of gauge the room and see if it's too easy or too hard, because next week then we can make it more applicable, more accessible.
Yeah.
Or
So
what's the better word for that?
well, we can set the level for you guys.
That's
You
it.
tell us
There we
what
go.
you need. So, how are you doing? Send us a comment. Hope it's all okay.
So Claire can rest mainly.
Yeah, I need to rest. Adeline says it's great, so that's good. I understand that there is a chance that Adeline and Jasper might be doing the session today.
Yeah.
So let us know how you're getting on, Jasper, and if you've got any other ideas.
So we've got 10 seconds.
That was a very quick 60-second break.
I'm not lying.
Oh,
Ready? Find your position.
back to the scapular push-ups.
So 3, 2, 1, go. So shrug in, push out. If you find with this position it stops working all of a sudden, like your shoulders like, I can't do this anymore, drop the knees down, go into that 3/4 position where you're kneeling on the floor. And if that's not working, go to that box shape, you know, that table position. Keep breathing, Claire. Make sure you're pushing out. Are we trying to do this quite dynamically or slowly?
Both.
Both.
Controlled dynamism.
Oh, that's an interesting category. 3, 2, 1, rest. So the falling lunge position is what we're after
So
next.
shake your arms out before we do the lunge because we're putting the arms back
Are you
up.
feeling warm now?
Yeah, I'm very warm and my shoulders are quite tired.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Make sure you're switching legs. You might find that the dominant leg feels natural, but the non-dominant leg, so if you're right-handed, that would be your right leg is your dominant leg. The left side may not work as well. Is it important to be even on each side, Claire?
It's ideal if you can have an equal level of dexterity in one leg and the other, but if you can only do it on one leg, that's totally fine.
And bunny hops over a pillow is your next one.
Okay.
Deep breaths. I'm gonna
Shake
step
your
to the
arms
side.
out again. Shoulders might be tired.
What's that?
So Grace says only one accident so far. We just clashed heads.
Oh no! If you are in the room with someone, be very aware of where you're travelling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spatial
no.
awareness, please, girls.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that's horrible. Big breath. Big breath. If you've hurt yourself, take a break. Have a
Have a sip of water.
have a sip of water. Sit down. Especially if you're dizzy. You know, don't continue on if you can't. You've got 5 seconds.
So really kick your heels to your
Trying to
bum.
kick yourself in the bum, right?
Yep. Oh, my legs and my shoulders.
And pancake.
Oh, totally gone. Oh, good.
Show the pancake.
Pancake recovery. So I'm going to try and put my nose to the floor this time.
30 seconds. I'm going to check on Luna for a second because she's been very, very quiet.
She's tucked up in bed watching cartoons.
Yeah, please be careful as you come in.
So, try and get your nose to the floor this time.
Yeah,
If you're super flexible, you can get your chest to the floor. But if you're older like me and it's all a bit of a difficult process, don't get your partner to push you down.
Yes, don't do that. That was just me playing. And hands in the T position with a leg kick is your next one.
Okay,
You've shifted your mat.
sorry.
That's alright. I don't want you to disappear off the bottom of the screen. That's it.
Okay, so
3,
big
2,
leg kick.
1, go.
So hopefully everyone's got their heart rate pretty high at this point.
Stop whacking your knee on the floor. You're shaking the camera, Claire.
Oh, sorry. Try and do it more.
That's it.
Gently.
Graceful. Graceful.
So really get the front hand in line with the toes as you do this.
Don't lose the quality of the hand position though, right, Claire?
Yeah.
So don't start like trying to get that leg up high and then the hand's kind of end up all over the place. Make sure you're staying in this T shape. 30 seconds and the mini cartwheel. The rainbow cartwheel,
So
sorry.
mini rainbow cartwheel to finish. Breathe. This is the last one. So when you're ready, let's
3,
go for it.
2, 1, go. Nice. Keep keep going, fingers facing forward. Don't let the arms wander too far apart as well. So you don't want to be like really wide in this position. Keep them quite close and aligned. Claire's bending her legs just to make sure that she's got that space. She's not trying to go up with straight legs.
We're trying to put one hand down, then the other hand.
And rest. Well done, everyone.
Oh!
Let us know how you got on. That's particularly difficult, right? That was a hard stack, I think.
Yeah. So Paul's saying, don't worry about the girls' heads. I think it's knocked some sense into them. How rude!
How mean!
How mean!
How mean!
I hope your heads are okay, girls. Give them a good rub.
Yes.
Oh, so take this small break now as an opportunity to have a sip of water, get your heart rate down, take some deep breaths.
Yeah, I would recommend this because it's going to go straight back up again, right?
Yes, it will in a minute, but I'm just going to take a sip of my drink too. Coffee with gymnastics is not something I've done too often before.
Yeah. It's not good. Don't drink coffee and do handstands. No, because it comes up.
Have
Like
you
it
tried
gives
it?
you heartburn. yeah, I've done it in the morning. Yeah.
I don't often do my training in the morning while drinking coffee. But,
Yeah, it's not advisable.
Yeah.
Just don't drink coffee.
It's Saturday morning,
So
different.
yeah, exactly right. So we've got jumping, right?
Yeah. So
Why is jumping important?
jumping is really important because you use jumping and what's called plyometric strength in all areas of gymnastics, but often people don't learn how to jump with correct technique. So bad technique often means that,
Why is that?
when they do the little bend of the knees to take off, sometimes the knees come in. And if the knees come in, you can start to get injuries coming around the knee ligaments. So
or the other way, right? They go out and they do this.
Sometimes people's knees go out, but we want to work in what's called parallel. So we want knees to go over the big toe.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 different exercises now that are going to help to teach you good jump technique. So if you know how to jump already and you're really good at jumping, that's fine. But we'll go through each one of these exercises to help you just really focus and check. It's almost like an MOT for your jumps.
Also, I challenge all the adults that are watching this. I guarantee there's possibility you don't know how to jump. Because this is something that we always end up finding, that we have to reteach adults because they've kind of forgotten how to do it almost, and they land stiff legs and hurt their knees, or they go to a class and end up hurting themselves because they've forgotten how to do it.
Yeah, so in our work as personal trainers, we often have to start from basics and teach adults how to jump. But also in gymnastics, it's just so important to jump with good technique in order to not get injured. So
we're going to do 30 seconds on each and explain them beforehand, right?
Yes. So we've got 4 exercises, and we're going to show you the first one, then we'll do it, then we'll show you the next exercise, we'll do it, and we'll progress that way. So if at any point you don't want to go on to the next stage, stick with the first exercise or stick with the exercise that you feel comfortable with.
Cool.
So first one is
pendulum swings.
So when you jump, you use the arms in what's called a pendulum arm swing. So we're just going to practice the arm swing. So arms are going to come down and you're going to bend the knees, and then we rise up onto the toes. So that's all we're doing. It's like this. But can you, as we do it, Tom, can you talk us through what the good technique looks like?
So
I'll do it face on.
So
you do it from the side and I'll do it face on.
I'm going to hit you if I do it from the side, no?
No.
We're going to do it for 30 seconds.
Your arms aren't that long.
Are we all going to do it together?
We're all going to do it together for 30 seconds.
So before we do set off, I just want to point out a few things. I've got some points. So do the arm swing for me. So watch where Claire's chest starts and ends. She barely moves. It's a slight dip in the chest, but the arms go back as far as possible, and then she launches. If you've ever, I've watched some slow-mo clips of Claire doing flips, and her arms go really, really crazy far back when she does this.
Yeah. If I'm doing a backflip, my arms are going to come all the way to here.
That's what we're trying to do today.
So that I can generate maximum power with my arms.
Ready? Shall we do it together then?
Well, you talk me through
Okay,
the points
3,
as I do it.
2, 1, go. So swing those arms back and then launch yourself up onto the toes. So we're trying to create that perfect line shape.
So we want a flat back in this position, hips tucked under. As you bend your knees, make sure that your knees are going over the big toe and that your knees are not knocking together, but you're squeezing your glutes.
That's it.
If you squeeze your glutes really hard, your knees can't come in.
3, 2, 1, and rest. Very good, Claire.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Often that you compliment me.
Now we're going to do it with a small jump.
Okay, so next we add the little jump.
With the knees bending on landing.
So this one is to practice your landing position,
Which is this, right?
which hopefully you'll all know in gymnastics is really important from jumping off things.
Shoulder width apart,
Yeah.
hands forward.
So if you think about when you do the vault or when you do work on the trampette, it's really important that you can control your landing, because sometimes you're running up, you're jumping very high, and then you've got to get into this position with a big knee bend to make sure you don't fall over and to control all your power without hurting your knees. So we're going to practice now the jump. So we're going to do a pendulum arm swing, a jump, but we're going to practice the landing. So the thing here is you've got to try and hold the landing for 3 seconds before you move your feet.
Also, this is a good test, because if Claire shakes the camera, then she's not doing it properly, and she's landing heavy, which means that she's landing, rather than the balls of the feet, she's landing heavy and placing her heels down too soon.
So you want to land on the toes, take the weight through to the heels.
The man downstairs should not get upset.
Okay. So everyone can watch and check that I'm doing it correctly.
Because you'll see the shake.
Yeah, you'll see the camera shake.
So we're going to do it all together, right?
Yep.
So remember, torso up, even with the jump. You're not bending over, right?
Yeah,
You want to keep the
the
torso
chest up nice and high, and we want a big deep landing. Make sure the knees are not knocking together on the landing.
Start with a very small jump, right? 3, 2, 1, go. Nice.
So hold the landing, 3, 2, 1, and then we go again. Reset and jump, and really big soft landing. Am I shaking the camera?
I'm going to watch now. I was watching your technique. No, you haven't shook the camera yet. You're doing well. 15 seconds. Keep going. Lost balance though, right?
I did, yeah.
Well done. Nice. So it's the soft landing. We want to land on the balls of the feet, not the heels, and not stiff-legged.
Do a
And
face-
rest.
Oh. Okay. So if that's your level, stay there. Don't try and do anything that is more complicated.
Half turn.
But if you want
Oh, wow.
the next level of challenge,
This is difficult.
yeah, we're going to try a half turning jump. But the goal is we want a landing that's just as good as the landing that you've just
So you're
done.
turning like 180 degrees, right?
Yep.
So you're turning the whole way around, right?
Yep, 180 degrees.
Show us. Ah, so the difference is, rather than coming straight back down, you actually swing your arms down and then go up into this shape
And then twist from
and
the
then
hips.
twist.
So you're twisting from the hips.
Ah,
And-
I shook the camera that time.
Yeah, and I'm sitting back a little bit there in my landing, so I keep taking a step back when I've done the half turn jump.
Make
So,
sure your feet are parallel
Make
as
sure
well.
your shoulders are over your big toes as you land.
So your feet are parallel as well. Don't watch Claire's feet. Claire keeps doing this.
It's
Just
because
the
I'm trained
critique.
as a ballerina.
That's not
So
true.
first position. It is. I did more ballet than gymnastics before the age of 10.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't know that. I don't know how I didn't know that. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. And because we are jumping, make sure we have space to do so, and you're not going to punch a light or kick anything over. You've noticed I've stepped out of the way, so Claire's not going to hit me at any point, or bang. We're not going to bang each other's heads. Make sure you're pausing on that landing. Oh,
I have had some good landings. That wasn't
10
good.
seconds. If you do lose balance, that's okay. Don't judge it too much. Just think about what worked and what didn't work from the previous one. This is hard. And rest.
Okay. So,
Oh wow. Torch is over the half turning jump on one leg.
yeah.
What's
So
that?
if you got
I know
the-
what torch
if
jet
you
is.
got that half turning jump okay, and you want to move on and you want to do something more difficult, then I'll show you what you can do next. If not, you can stick with the straight jump or the half turn jump. But if you want the next level of challenge, then we've got it for you right now, because this is really difficult. So you're going to start with one leg behind you. You're going to swing that leg forward. When it gets to the front, you take your arms up in the air and you turn and you land. So this is a half turning jump, which you've just done. but you're now taking off from one leg and you're landing on one leg. So with the full jump, it looks like this.
That's hard.
It's really hard.
If you want to do this and you don't want to, and you can't get the jump, you can do it on like a soft surface, like we've got wood. So you can do it and pivot to get used to that jump. But you have to be on the ball of the foot and make sure you're not on a surface that's going to lock your knee out, like for example, the mat or a really thick rug.
So this is a real challenge exercise. If you want to stick with the half turning jump, that's totally fine.
Or the
just
jump
a straight
itself,
jump, that's
right?
fine.
Yeah.
But the purpose of this is when you practice this exercise, because you're taking off on one leg and you're landing on one leg, it forces you to switch your glutes on. So it's really, really good for balance practice. And it's also just a nice challenge to see if you can get your body to adapt and learn a new skill quite quickly. So 30 seconds on one
This
side.
is the last one, right?
Yeah. So we'll do 15 seconds on one side, then 15 seconds on the other.
Oh, we're doing it that way. Okay,
Yep.
so I've got to keep time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
So.
I think we should do this one twice, no?
No.
No? I find this one quite tricky.
It's very hard, but it's just a quick challenge. Something for you to practice in the week. If you're starting to get it, but you're not quite there, have a little practice.
And switch sides. 3, 2, 1, go. That's it. Soft landing. With that swing, make sure you're not next to a wall, or you're not going to kick a chair. You're aware of what's behind you and in front of you. And rest.
Oh.
Oh, we've got a comment
So,
for me while we move.
Andy says, this is good practice. Just a reminder that when you land toes first, the heels do then also come down. Too often people try to control it by just staying on their toes. Yes, so when you're jumping, you want to use your feet. Andy's making a good point. Jumping is not just about bending the legs and using your quad muscles to jump. It's about using the whole of your foot. So the reason we started with this exercise with the pendulum swing and onto the toes is you should be jumping from your toes, and you want the tip toes to push from the floor, and then you're going to land back down through the toes and then put the heels down.
Yeah.
And if you can get a pointed toe in the air, I'm going to show you the highest jump I can do.
Go on.
Hopefully you want to get pointed toes, and if you get your toes pointed, you know that you've jumped through your feet.
Well, that was good.
Oh, thanks. See, ballet works. Okay, so we're going to move on now to the last section of the session today, which is a little bit of box splits practice. To do this, I'm going to need my socks, aren't I?
Yeah, go get some socks.
Okay, everybody go get socks.
Do you want me to borrow my socks?
Go get socks.
So, only by... Everyone's just run off to get socks, right? But if you don't necessarily need socks, so it depends on the surface, and also if you're frightened that you might slide too far, then don't wear socks. You know, it's kind of just an added extra that we prefer to use when stretching. I'm going to remove the mat as well.
Yeah.
Because we for Claire, she doesn't want that extra bit of grip. If you're worried about going too far, then stay on your mat and only work at the level that you can. So, with flexibility and stretching, I have a big influence from martial arts, and that's always not the most pleasant version of stretching. But, oh, hello, Luna.
Luna's in the house.
Come here. Daddy. Hello, say hi. Say hello. Oh, you want me to go somewhere?
Yeah, she's saying, come and watch cartoons with me.
So I need like a little stool. You don't need a stool, and I'll come back.
Can I use a stool? So if you have a chair nearby, you can use the chair. You don't need the chair, but I prefer doing this one with a chair. So what we're going to do is...
Shall I show you?
Yeah.
So, for me, I'm going to turn it slightly. So, you can do this with hands on the floor, that's okay. So you don't need a stool or a prop, or if you've got a side of a sofa that you're allowed to use that. So, hips in line with the edge of that surface, and we're going to lower ourselves down. I've got a torn groin, so this might take me a little while. So we're going to lower ourselves as far down as possible, and then we're going to push using our arms to get ourselves back up. So we're going to go down as deep as we can, hold it for a few seconds, and push. And Claire's going to count the repetitions.
So this is a stretching exercise that comes from martial arts, as Tom says, because what we've found is there's actually quite a lot of techniques in martial arts for stretching that are better than gymnastics techniques.
Well, it's not better, it's just different. Like, this is more of an active stretch, so I'm doing things, and it's good for like handstand shoulder presses, straddle presses. It's very similar kind of movement.
So this is what's called an active stretch. So you're going down passively into the stretch, and then you're using the muscles to come back out. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 6 repetitions of this exercise, and then once we've done 6 repetitions of the active stretch, we're going to do a passive version on the floor at the end.
Yeah, you can do this on the floor as well, so you can go down as low as you need, and then push out to standing. It takes a little bit more flexibility to push out to standing.
I think I'll do it without.
You're going to do it without?
Yeah, I'm going to do it on the floor.
You can do it without.
Okay, are we ready?
So you count for 6.
So we're doing 6 reps, so let's go
On
down.
your count, hold for 3 seconds.
Down into the stretch. We hold 3, 2, 1. Push the legs up to come out.
So you'll find, hopefully, you'll find that every time you do this, keep going, Claire.
So round 2, so we're just going into the stretch.
You'll find that it should start to loosen up each time you go into this.
And then push the feet into the floor as you come out of the stretch.
And all we're doing is prepping those muscles to be able to do the actual box splits. So we're kind of like warming them and loosening them up.
Push into the floor with the feet. Let's go down for number 4. Push with the feet to come up. Number 5, stretch your feet out. Push your feet into the floor. It's getting hard now.
Yeah, it's hard, right?
1 to go. Or as low as you can get, and
Push out.
your feet to come out. Whoa! So
they should be warm now, right?
Yeah.
So how I kind of like to think of stretching is kind of like dough when you're making like pastry.
Yeah.
And if you put it in the fridge, it's like rock hard.
Yeah.
But if you play with it and get it warm, it starts to become stretchy and malleable.
Okay.
And this is exactly how we need our muscles to be. I don't like stretching at the beginning of sessions. Like, you need to be loose and mobile. It's only more of like a prep. So when we're doing our deepest stretch, you kind of want it to do it like when you're very warm, like we are now.
So we've got nice malleable legs now, and we're ready for the final stretch. So what's the final stretch, Tom?
Just the box split.
It's not just the box split though, is it?
No. Let me show you. We're going to do this once through, right? So I've got different phrases for different things. So we've got a middle, we've got a forward, and a back. And I'll show you from the side. So a middle is when, this is going to take me a second to get into because of the torn groin. So middle is here. I'm in line with my feet, right? Forward is we're going to walk forward and imagine that we're going to do a cobra and push our hips towards the floor. They won't go towards the floor very far, but that's our front position. And then we've got our back position where we walk back onto the heels and we're going to load the weight. This is probably your deepest version of the stretch, and then we're going to go back to the middle.
Okay, so we're doing this stretch for quite a long time now.
60,
we're going to do a 90
seconds.
second stretch and then we're finished. So
I'll talk you through it.
That's then the session over. But you're going to come out of this stretch feeling like a new human being, like a superhuman.
There's a big but here. Don't go so far that you have to stop. If you've gone too far and you're like, I have to stop, then that's okay. Come out of it just slowly. But the goal is to try to maintain this for the whole 90 seconds
stay in
a comfortable position that's kind of just making it work like a little bit hard.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go in.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
So, stretch into the box split position. Don't go too far.
And make sure you're breathing. You know, if you start to tense up and hold your breath, then things are going to start tightening, and we don't want that. Keep holding that position. Here comes Luna. Perfect timing. She's going to come sit on you. And we're going to go forward now, push our hips towards the ground. So Claire's walk forward. Uh-oh. Look at Mummy. Say hello. Can you say hi?
So I'm pushing my hips towards the floor.
And now you're going to go backwards. So go past the middle, all the way to the back. So you're sitting on the heels. Almost, it's kind of like a straddle, right? Straddle stretch.
Yeah.
Oh, you're taking me out of the room. Daddy, come watch cartoons. Keep going, Claire.
So this is going to be hurting your arms. Let's go back to the middle.
Back to the middle now.
Back to the middle position. So my arms are really aching now. Burning, burning, burning. I imagine
Hold
yours
that
are
position.
too.
So this should be your deepest stretch right now at this point. So as you rocked forward and backwards, now we're going to hold it. We've got 20 seconds.
Oh, it's getting hard.
If you feel like you want to go a little bit further, you can rock back to your heels, Claire.
No.
But I'd stay in that position. I'll count you down, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out. Well done. So you can walk your feet in, or the preferred way I did it earlier, I just fell forward and then brought my legs in.
Oh, that's
my
hard.
lazy way to get out of it.
That was a really hard stretch to finish. Mostly it hurts my arms, that one. That is so difficult. So much pressure on your arms.
I do this with our adults, right? And
Yeah.
we have done a box split, whole session on box splits before.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of that byproduct, your shoulders strength to just hold yourself up.
Yeah, it's a leg stretch and it works your upper body strength as well.
Yeah.
Okay guys, that's it for this morning. Well done. I hope everybody's safe. I hope that Grace and Elizabeth's heads have recovered.
Yes.
Send us a message. Let us know how you got on. If we need to, let us know if we need to adjust anything for next week. If it was too difficult, let us know, and we will change the format.
If you are signed into an adult's account and you want to get access to because we're doing it weekly, as soon as we put it up and it's available. If you hit subscribe, you'll get a notification that we're about to do a stream.
Press the subscribe button
and
you will like our page, and
because
then
more people can see it. Then
you'll get a notification of when we're doing the next session, which will be next Saturday morning. So see you again for another training session next Saturday. Hope you had fun.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.